Do you ever find yourself being like, hey, Alexa, I lose weight without working out? How do I balance my hormones naturally? Or how to eat for my hormones? If you've ever been curious, hey, I got you. Welcome back to another video. Today I'll be sharing on how to balance hormones naturally in women, natural remedies for hormonal imbalances for women, and of course, what foods are good for your hormones. Hello everyone! I know it's been a hot minute. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, I'm Shay. I'm a hormone and a life coach, and I simplify menstrual and fertility health for the driven millennial woman. My mission in this world is to help women really realize how powerful they are all through their cyclical nature and how to harness the best of cyclical living. If you haven't yet, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you know whenever my new videos come out. Alrighty, let's go ahead and dive in. Today's topics is one of my favorites because I know that there are so many women out there who want to become moms one day, and they're very curious and want to know, how do I take care of my hormones the natural way? This is honestly a really beautiful starting point to anyone who wants to apply more holistic living to their cycle and on achieving pregnancy naturally. It's certainly not a quick fix. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you how to balance your hormones in a week naturally, because honestly, it takes time. It takes roughly about 30 days for you to notice and implement new changes and see that in your cycle. It's truly a practice, and your body needs time, and you get to give yourself that time. I will, however, tell you how to balance your hormones naturally through food, and how to make simple, small but sustainable habits that will allow you to move the needle forward in your goals. And you will definitely notice a difference by applying these principles within 30 days. When it comes to how to treat a hormonal imbalance, you really have to check in on yourself. You want to take a more natural approach? What are you willing to do to achieve this goal? And of course, knowing what your hormones look like overall so that you have a really good starting foundation, and sometimes that means getting hormonal tests so that you have feedback in how you can move forward. From there, you can start making both diet and lifestyle choices that will help you. Unfortunately, in our society, we are exposed to so many different harmful chemicals all the time, especially as women. One of the biggest things that I teach my clients, if you're wanting to preserve your fertility, is take a look at your medicine cabinet, your beauty cabinet, the things that you put on your body. On average, women put about 64 different products on themselves every day, from their eye cream, their makeup, their mascara, their lotion, their perfume, the hair product, shampoo, conditioner, you name it. And if you take a look at the ingredients in there, a lot of those ingredients are known to be endocrine disrupting, meaning they are harmful to your endocrine system, which deals with all of your hormones. And if your hormones are being disrupted, then most likely that is creating some sort of hormonal imbalance for you. So I highly suggest switching to clean products. My favorite apps to use are the Think Dirty app and the EWG app. These will really give you good indicators on how clean a product is, because there is a thing called greenwashing out there, and I definitely do not want any of you to experience that. So take a look for yourselves, start scanning your product, get to know what you're putting on your body, and see if you can make a clean swap. Now that you know my first tip on how to balance hormones naturally, let's dive in a little bit deeper on natural remedies for hormonal imbalances. I personally love all things natural remedies, really working with plant allies to see how you can help your hormones in a way that isn't injecting yourself with a bunch of different pills and or birth control. I personally love having natural remedies, and although I stand for diet and lifestyle choices, sometimes your body needs a little extra boost and support given the state of the stressors that we deal with every single day. So I truly believe in companies that create really sound, great, clean product for you to use, and there's quite a few that I personally really love to use every single cycle that really supports me in nourishing both my body and my hormones. For example, from the first half of your cycle to the last half of your cycle, both your metabolism and your digestion change. So the way you eat from the first half of your cycle to the way you eat in the second half of your cycle is going to be very different. During your menstruation and follicular phase, quite often your metabolism is changing. You reach these little pivotal points. So you'll notice when you move into your follicular phase that you may not be as hungry. You might be craving more light foods, like fiber-dense veggies. You might want more fruit. You might be into more smoothies, smoothie bowls, lighter meals, pressed salads, things like that. And then from that latter half of your cycle, you'll notice that your food intake increases. You get more hungry. You're needing more food all throughout the day. That's why I always advise, and I know I've said this in other videos, day 20 to 21 is super key to make sure that you are eating breakfast and supporting your hormones from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed, because that's going to radically change how your body responds energetically. So during this time, usually in the first half of my cycle, I will introduce probiotics again. One of my favorite probiotics is by Arbonne. And I'll definitely link down below where you're able to buy those probiotics, but I put that in my smoothie every single day. If I stop the probiotics halfway through my cycle, then I usually reintroduce it during my follicular phase. And of course, you're always welcome to use a probiotic that you personally love yourself. The one that is from Arbonne is one that I personally use. Another product that I really love is matcha. So I'm a really big advocate for matcha and swapping it out instead of coffee. In the first half of your cycle, your body can metabolize coffee a lot better, but all in all, coffee can be very inflammatory to the system, especially to your hormones. So if you are someone like me who loves coffee, the taste of coffee and all about it, I'm all about those oat milk lattes, and you have one almost every single day, but you experience some really awful PMS like bloating, tender breasts tend to break out during your cycle during those phases, then I would highly suggest swapping coffee out, switching it for tea or for matcha. And during my menstruation phase, I also really love to drink a moontime tea. I'm actually going to link it down below, but my friend has a red moon tea that she makes and she infuses with love. That's all for your womb. It has a bunch of different herbs that really support blood flow, really support your progesterone levels, and is just like a really good tea to drink during your luteal phase through your menstruation week, and then you can stop. Those are generally the things that I do pretty consistently throughout my cycle. And then of course, magnesium. Magnesium is another really great supplement to have. Magnesium really supports, it's considered the stress mineral, so it really helps your stressors, it helps your sleep, it helps you relax, it helps your nervous system just regulate into homeostasis, which is really good, because if you're someone that experiences insomnia or you have really strange irregular cycles, magnesium could really benefit you, so I highly suggest it. The brand Calm is my personal favorite, and of course my mentor and the woman that I learned so much from, Alyssa Vitti, has a really great balance supplement if you ever need to take a whole kit essentially of supplements that are supportive to your hormones and your body. Now tell me down below, which of these remedies are you like, heck yes, I want to try it, and you're going to implement in your new cycle? Let me know in the comments sections. Okay, now that you understand my top tip on how to balance your hormones naturally and my favorite natural remedies for hormonal imbalances, I really want to talk about what foods are good for your hormones. Now, hear me out. There are so many diet trends out there, like keto, paleo, fasting. That's what's coming to the top of my mind right now. All of these diet trends that everybody's like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. However, something that I really want to land in your brain today is the fact that all of these diet trends do not take into account a woman's infradian rhythm. So Alyssa Vitti coined this term. The infradian rhythm is what women deal with, which is the menstrual cycle. And if you look at a lot of clinical studies out there, especially when it comes to nutrition, women are quite often left out of this. Reason being is our hormones make us incredibly unique, make our bodies incredibly unique, and make us incredibly unique in terms of how we eat. So the way a male eats with his circadian rhythm and that 24-hour hormonal pattern is going to be very different than the way a a woman eats. So in all of those studies, when it's talking about how keto burns fat really well for you and how paleo will increase your energy and strengthening, and how intermittent fasting really aids in the digestion, blah, 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 all of the facts that are there are typically that of a male study, not of a female study. Because of our menses, our period, they don't take into account what our bodies are doing, and our body is just biologically very different. And it's not to say that these diets are bad for you, but you need to learn how to eat those diet trends in accordance to your cycle to get the best optimal performance of your body. So quite often I'll have clients that break out in strange times, create irregular cycles, but they're not eating in conducive to what their body is needing. And then of course, if you have yo-yo weight, like where your weight is fluctuating and you feel like you're on a roller coaster with that, this could also be why. So let's dive in a little bit deeper, yes? When it comes to eating healthy for your hormones, I want you to remember two key things. When it comes to eating healthy for your hormones, I want you to remember two key things. First, ask yourself, what phase of my cycle am I in? By knowing what phase of the cycle you're in, you're going to understand that your digestion and metabolism may be slower, may be faster, and the way in which you build your plates, you build your meals for the week or for the day, you know how to do this. And remember, hormone balanced meal indicates you have some sort of hormone-free protein, anti-inflammatory fats, that could look like an avocado, and fiber. And you can get fiber through whole foods, much like sweet potatoes, or adding things like hemp seeds to your smoothies, on top of your salads, all that kind of good stuff. Remember that when you're asking yourself what phase of your cycle you're in, and you're thinking to yourself, luteal phase, through menstruation week, your digestion does become faster, metabolism does become faster, so you're generally going to eat more, and you're going to think of more fiber-rich foods, more protein, more nourishing things, grains, stuff like that, versus when you're in your follicular phase and in ovulation, that first half of your cycle, you're going to think lighter, more colorful foods, more things like fruits, nuts, berries, all that kind of good stuff. So some things to keep in mind when you're thinking of the type of foods that you can be implementing into your cycle, and asking yourself, like, where am I and what is going to serve my body most? And when you tap into your intuition as well, your body naturally craves those things, and so you're able to realize, like, oh, like that's where I'm at in my cycle, and give yourself what you need. I always start my clients on an elimination protocol, and then figuring out, what foods do nourish you, what foods do make you happy, and what is your reason and your why for wanting to balance your hormones. When you are going through a roller coaster of things when it comes to your cycle and feeling all sorts of stuff, it can be really hard to anchor in to creating a diet plan that works for you, to creating new sustainable habits, because your ego wants to resist it. So remember, half the battle sometimes is mindset. So I always tell my clients, what is your why? Why do you want to do this work? Why now? Why for your future? Why for other people around you? And anchor into that why when it comes to balancing your hormones, because sometimes it is not the easiest journey, but I promise you it is totally, totally worth it. All right, you now know the secret sauce to my first tip on balancing the hormones naturally, all my favorite natural remedies for hormonal imbalances, and how to eat and the food that you need for your hormones. Let me know down below, what was your favorite thing about this video? What was your biggest takeaway? And what are you most excited to do next for your body and for your cycle? I can't wait to hear it. Reminder, if you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely peep that name up top and follow me. Send me a message. Let me know how this information lands for you and how it's helping change your cycle. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a great day, everyone.